Ooh, right, that's probably the worst block plate I've ever seen. Literally, there's chunks right to the brim. Let's see, hopefully spirits of salts will clean it out, but that is bad. Right, it's a late start today. When I say late, it's 4:20 in the afternoon because we've been out to the Natural History Museum today, haven't we? What did you get, Irene?
We went to the museum. Got this.
What did you get?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. What dinosaur is that?
T-Rex.
T-Rex. And what did you get, little madam? You got a day out in London, didn't you? Right. And now, because it's silly season, Daddy's got to go to work. Got call-outs. 3 call-outs. One, I believe, is a seized pump. One is a block plate, and another is a PCB. It's the alpha one that I recorded the other day. So I managed to actually get hold of one. Got the PCB here. Had to have it ordered it for. I called Alpha. They've actually got a shortage. They were expecting 900 PCBs in from Italy, but none have come in. But luckily, had some in stock, so they're not cheap. Like north of 200 quid. But it is what it is. Got to get it done. Get these people heating hot water. Let's go. Right, back at this one. Managed to get the PCB. Let's get swapped over. Right, we've got an Alpha Evolt 28. It's coming up with an E01 error. Let's have a look. Gas cock is open, so that's all fine. Let's reset it. See what it does. So E01 is ignition lockout. So I'm just gonna do the usual checks. I know they've got gas because it's not on a prepayment meter here. Gas cock's open. Just want to check that the condenser isn't blocked and that's not backing up. What's it doing right now? It's got heating demand. Just see what it does. Right, so I've just got the case off and trying to run it through its ignition sequence. Pump's running. Fan spinning. But nothing else is happening at the moment. It's not actually even igniting. I can't even hear that sparking. We'll have to run a few checks on this and see what's going on. So we've definitely got gas. Oh, gas valve's opening. So I know it's not going to be the gas valve. So we just had a little blip there. Let's check the ignition lead because that's going to be a 1 kilo ohm lead. In fact, let me first. I remember someone telling me apparently the electrodes on these are a common fault. But let me, where is it? Let me get my spark gen tester. Let's pop that on there and see. Where's the fuse spare for the boiler? Let's turn it off from there for now. Let's pop that one there. That one there. Let's try that again. So I want to see a nice solid red flashing light on there. Alright, come on, boiler, do your thing. let's see. Do we get a solid red light on there? And the gas valve opens. Yeah, that looks strong enough to me. Right, let me turn the power off. Let's whip the electrodes out and have a look at the electrodes. Right, that's the electrodes. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if that's how they're meant to look, or I mean that does look a little bit warped to me, but I've never really taken out alpha electrodes, so I'm not sure if that is how they're meant to look. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this back onto here, turn the gas off, and then try and get to fire and see if we get a spark going across this. Right, gas cock is off. Let's let the boiler go through its ignition sequence again and see if we're getting a spark across those electrodes. This is all about just literally process of elimination. Right, let's see. No, nothing. So now, although I had that red light on it, I'm going to get my multimeter and do a resistance check across the electrode lead and see if I am getting the 1 kilo ohm or not. If I'm not, then it's going to be the electrode lead, but I'll probably change the electrodes at the same time just to be on the safe side. But let me go and do that check first quickly. Right, I've got 994 ohms across the lead, which is basically a kilo ohm. That's very strange. And another bit of information is that they have had a power cut recently. So now I'm wondering, could it be the PCB? Everything else is running. So obviously the board is an expensive part, so I don't want to just change it for the sake of it. But if they've had a power cut, then it's possible it could be the PCB. I might have to give a call to Alpha on this one. Right, come back with a set of electrodes. They do actually look a little bit closer than the old ones, so I'm hoping we get a spark now. So the boiler's just going through its startup sequence again. Come on, let me see a spark. No spark on there. I think it's going to be the board. And they didn't have one in stock today. I asked them if they had one, but they don't. So yeah, looks like I'm going to have to come back with a board another day. Right, board's been swapped over. Moment of truth now. Let's see what it does. There we go, winter mode. So let's let this go through its startup sequence. And I'm keeping my fingers and everything crossed. Yes, baby, look at that. We have flame. PCB swapped over. Job's a good one. Right, I've got, no, that's 1 or 4 for tonight. Let's go and get the other 3 done. Hopefully we have just as much luck with the others. Right, next one. Some of you might remember this one. Depends how long you've been subscribed to the channel and how many of my videos you've seen. But this Baxi 600 that was in the loft, this was the one where one of the plate screws was completely rounded off. So I had to literally hammer a slot into it and managed to free it up. And then got the plate out and cleaned it. And I'm back again today. And this time it's going to be down to obviously poor water quality. Pump's gone. I've got E125 error code. Just gonna get the case on, get the case off, and double check what's going on with the pump. But another colleague's been here already, the same person who sent me out last time, and they've said that it's the pump. So brought one with me. Let's get the case off and see what's going on. Right, I'll reset the boiler. That unit light's dead. So I've got the head torch on. You can see how cold it is up in here by the steam coming out of my mouth. Nothing's happening at the moment. I know this isn't the right way to check it, but got power going to the pump, but no one's at home. Let's try the old. No, that doesn't. Oh, actually looks like it's leaking. Inside there's water coming out of the middle bit there, which I've never seen before. Okay, so definitely got a problem there. So I need to, the fuse spur. Oh, great, fuse spur's downstairs. Right, let me go and shut the fuse spur off, and then we'll get this pump changed over. All right, not having much luck so far. It looks like there's so much dirt in the system that the drain off is blocked as well, because that's all I've managed to get out there, and that's still showing a bar and a half of pressure. Now, whether the pressure gauge is blocked or the drain off is blocked, I don't know what to believe, but I don't want to start cracking the pump valve, and so the pump head, then get water spraying out everywhere. But do you know what? Oh, is AAV open? Yeah, AAV is open. I might just start loosening it and see if I get water spraying out, then I know that there's still pressure in the system. If I don't, then I know that the pressure gauge is blocked, which is fantastic. All right, let's give it a go. Oh, should I drain it through the PRV? And then I could clean the PRV head. Let's see if that works. Yeah, look, it's definitely pressure in the boiler, because now it's draining out. All right, I'm just gonna have to do that. Unfortunately, drain it out through the PRV, and then I'll just take the head out, give it a clean, and put it back together. That is literally the only way I can do it. Otherwise, I'm not risking taking that pump head off just like that. Can you imagine? It would have just sprayed water out everywhere if I didn't. Now there's probably gonna be loads of dirt behind the PRV, but it's fine. I'll give it a clean. Ah, the joys of silly season. Right, that's interesting. Don't know how well it will show up on camera, but somehow water's got into this connector block as well. There's water inside there as well. Don't know how that's happened, but then I've also got water coming out of there. So God knows what's going on with this pump. I hope I can dry that out and it will work, but it's got some scale on it, so I'm not sure. Let's give it a go. So there's the old pump out. You can see it's just covered in black dirt, and it's all been leaking out the bottom as well. And you can see it looks like water's just somehow just got in everywhere. Comparing it to the new one, which is nice and shiny, that is in a very sorry state. Boiler's not even that old. How old is this? 2018. It's not even that old a boiler. Alright, let's get this swapped over. PRV's seen better days as well. I mean, I haven't got another one of these in the van at the moment, so I'm just going to give this a clean, and hopefully it will hold pressure. Right, we're back in business. Got a light on the pump. It's so annoying that the fuse spur is downstairs. I would like to turn it on and test it, but obviously I'm testing this one, but I have to keep going downstairs to turn it on and then come back upstairs. But yeah, I've turned the power on, pressure's back on, and it's holding, so I've cleaned out the PRV, new pump's on, it's spinning. Yeah, I can feel it. Just gonna wait for it to fire up. Obviously it's got a very low temperature at the moment, so just waiting for the boiler to get rid of the air in it, which is out now, and I'll give it a minute. We should get ignition in a moment. I'm bloody cold up here as well. Oh no, my head torch is dying as well. Oh, I'll come back to this. Oh wait, come on. Yes, flame. We have flame, and look at how quickly that temperature is rising on there. Happy days. Right, we're back in business. I'm going to go before this puts me in complete darkness. Let's get to the next one. Right, got a Potterton Gold. It's coming up with a E110 overheat. Right, let's reset it. Let's see what it does. Okay. Right, so it's running hot tap, and let's just see what the temperature does. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's dumping out for the PRV now. And that's gone past 90 degrees. Yeah. So that's a block plate, and probably have to check the PRV as well, because that's now dumping it all out. So we'll top up the pressure again, and we'll check to see if it's doing the same on heating as well. Let's test the heating now. PRV's still going as well. Right, let's see. Right, so heating's working okay. That's not shooting up in temp, but that's another call out calling me, probably finding out when I'm coming. Yeah, got block plate, and the PRV's, is it still going? Yeah, that's still dripping as well. So it's going to need cleaning out of the plate and changing the PRV. Right, I've managed to sort the PRV out by just literally opening it and closing it quickly a couple of times. So that stopped that. But yeah, looking inside, the plate has been leaking as well. I think where it's just got overheated against the block. You can see at the back there, there's a lot of scale on it as well. Right, let's see if we can get this cleaned out. Right, boiler's been drained out. Now let's try and get this plate out. So got one screw just at the back there. So what I tend to do is just crack them first, just so that it lets a little bit of air in. Give that a little push. So it'll drain the rest of the pressure out the hot taps on the domestic side. Boiler's been drained out into there. Expansion vessel's been recharged. So let's just whip this plate out and have a look. Oh, right. That's probably the worst block plate I've ever seen. Literally, there's chunks right to the brim. Let's see. Hopefully, spirits or salts will clean it out, but that is bad. Let's give it a go. Right. Let's have a look. I know it's going to be bad. How bad? Yeah, that's bad. Right, just going to let all that clean up. So that's cleaned out pretty well. Everything's nice and clear inside. However, when I was greasing up the O-rings in the block, the flow side, there's a lot of muck in there, so I've tried to clean it out as much as I can, but I don't know how much of that block has actually got more debris in it. But I'm coughing because I've breathed in a bit of the fumes, which is not good. But gonna grease this up, pop this back in and test it, at least get them up and running for tonight. Right, we are back up to pressure, but typical, one of the washers had failed, and it was the one that was on the flow connection which had all that scale on it. So when I put it back together, that started leaking. So luckily I had a spare set of Baxi washers on the van, so changed that over. It's all been purged out. Heating demand's on at the moment. Let's run a hot tap. Let's turn that off. All right, let's just monitor the temperature of the hot water now. Make sure that doesn't jump up. It's cooling down, which is good. Right, that's holding stable. So cleaned out the blockage, temperature's not shooting up anymore. That pressure's holding as well, so the PRV's okay as well. So we're good for today. Got one more to go and have a look at now, and then get me home. Right, just getting to this last one for the night. It's an ideal Iser. You probably might remember this from one of the other jobs where there was a problem with the gas main and there was no gas coming into the property. This time they've got an LF fault code, so I'm going to go in and see what else it could be, because last time I gave it, stripped it all out and checked it and the boiler was fine. So let's see what's gone wrong with it now. Right, okay, so firstly, your pressure's low, so let's top up some pressure. Let's get some pressure into the system. Right, when is this fault code happening? Is it when you run the heating or the hot water?
What? When that started to go E and F?
Yeah.
E and L?
Yeah.
It just went like that.
Okay.
And when I tried to, because first thing this morning,
yeah,
when we put it on, it was working lovely.
Okay.
Heating and the hot water.
Yeah.
And then, well, this afternoon, just before I phoned you up,
yeah,
it just went and we couldn't get no hot water.
right.
We couldn't put heating on at all.
Okay. Do you want to run a hot tap for me? Let's have a look. Okay, so let's recognise the demand there.
Yeah. So you satisfied her neighbour upstairs. She was panicking.
Yeah. No, it was her thermostat that was faulty, so I managed to get her up and running straight away.
Oh, right.
Okay, so it's fired up.
Yeah, it's firing up now. Isn't that weird? I mean, this is not getting really hot. It's
Starting to come through?
It's starting.
Yeah, it will take a little while. Yeah, it's not your diverter valve because there's no heat going down the flow pipe. I think it might have just been because your pressure was low.
Really?
Yeah, because your pressure was on 0.
Well, what is it supposed to be? On that 1 bar or 2?
What? I'd normally say it at 1.5. So as long as you're between 1 and 2, then you're safe.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we're all good. I think it was just a case of low pressure.
Is that just the pressure?
Yeah, well, from the look, I mean, it's not throwing up the error code again now, so I can only assume that was because of the low pressure. Really hot, yeah?
Can I turn that off now?
Yeah, you can turn that off now.
And what about heating?
Let's run the heating as well, yeah. I think it was just low pressure. I'm not going to charge them for it. They live around the corner from me. So that was 4 call-outs in 4 hours, I think, or 5 hours, something like that. So still been a productive day. Managed to go out with the family, had a nice family day, came home, made some money, helped some people, and now it's time for me to go home and try and salvage the rest of my evening, have some dinner. And then tomorrow, I'm not working. Well, I'm working but not working. I'm going to be working on my shed, the man cave. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Good night.